Miley Cyrus has had a very traumatic health scare, and I've got the details. There's a chance Miley Cyrus may never hit the road again, but before you cry at the thought of missing your fave on stage, it's for very valid health-related reasons. The Grammy winner opened up about a recent health scare with Apple Music's Zane Lowe, detailing how she faced an excruciating and traumatic experience when performing with her godmother, Dolly Parton, during their New Year's Eve special. Now, Miley shared the ordeal and said, "I had a pretty traumatic experience on a show that I was doing with Lorne Michaels. When I was doing my New Year's show, I had a medical emergency. I had an ovarian cyst rupture. We didn't know exactly what was going on, so we did it." She shared that she and the Saturday Night Live creator had a very candid conversation after the show where she discussed almost quitting the music industry altogether. She said, "I had dinner with Lorne and he said something, that has now stuck with me." He goes, 6 months. Everybody has 6 months to feel sorry for themselves, and then we start to rebuild." She continued to say, he's like, "You have no idea how many artists have sat in this chair and told me they were quitting music. Everyone does this. Everyone has these traumatic experiences." Now, elsewhere in her Apple Music interview, Miley also spoke about how her sobriety and health journey has played, a very pivotal role in how she approaches live performances. She said, "Part of that is keeping myself mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally well. And I want to emphasize the physically because of how taxing a physical live performance is, and something I wanted to mention to you. So I had the Ranke's edema, which is abuse of the vocal cords." So she continued to say, "I've had this very large kind of cyst on my vocal cord, which has given me a lot of the tone and texture that has made me who I am. But it's extremely difficult to perform with it because it's like running a marathon with ankle weights on." She continued and said, "My voice is super unique because of it though, and I'm not willing to sever it because the chance of waking up from a surgery and not sounding like myself is a good probability." Now, Miley last toured in 2014 to support her album Bangers, and in 2019 she performed at a bunch of festivals including Glastonbury and Lollapalooza, and in 2023 she explained her decision to opt out of touring during an interview with British Vogue and said, "Singing for hundreds of thousands of people isn't really the thing that I love. There's no connection, there's no safety. It's also not natural. It's so isolating because if you're in front of 100,000 people, then you are alone." She added that touring ultimately affected her health, saying, "I was in a lot of pain. I was kind of back into the pop star thing and I noticed I had this flare up." She had asked herself, "Do I want to live my life for anyone else's pleasure or fulfillment other than my own?" Cyrus has since regrouped, and her new album, Something Beautiful, is set for release later this month. Flowers is still running amok in my playlist, so I'm looking forward to this new album. If she would just do one more tour, then we'd really get the best of both worlds. What do you guys think though? Let me know how you feel about Miley Cyrus. Thanks so much for watching. I'm your host Ashley. It's been great catching up.